One thing that the ministry, and for me, if it was up to me, that we impose a children's curfew in this country, where a child cannot be outside or be seen or be in public beyond a certain hour and certain hours. This has been done in other countries in the world. This has been done in other states in America where there is a curfew imposed on children. So if a child is moving around, that child must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. And that child or that parent or guardian must verify that they are the parent or guardian if they are being stopped by a police officer or at any checkpoint, if those checkpoints are set up, to ensure that the child is traveling with an adult that belongs to, that they are from the same family. Why is this done in other jurisdictions? Because it is usually during the evening hours, the night hours, where children are facing exploitation, where children can be trafficked, where children are sold into sex work. And so by imposing this curfew, which our ministry will be proposing, it will make parents and families more responsible to be keeping their children at home, because it cannot just be the job of the police. Now, if children are out and about in their communities and police officers are walking around to ask them which families they belong to, then parents or guardians will need to be prepared to answer for that. Because otherwise you find there are a lot of children that are loitering our streets, especially in the weekends and in towns. There is, it all depends on resources, and it can't just be the police officers that walk the streets to be asking children to go home. Where are the parents? Where are the guardians? Why aren't they coming to find their children that are loitering in the streets? And a children's curfew will make parents and guardians more responsible to be looking after these children. If a child is found loitering at night, and that child identifies their parent or guardian without a parent or guardian, and they identify them, that parent or guardian can be charged with neglect, can be charged with negligence for not looking after their child or not keeping them at home during curfew hours. Now, yes, there will be other implications to this, including what if the child is facing abuse at home and they do not want to be at home? Then this is where we call on neighbors, we call on family members, relatives. You know if a child is being abused in your family, report it. Use the child helpline. And we ask our children to also use the child helpline in order to call for help. And that's where we as the ministry can step in to assist. No, the curfew is not under the Child Protection or Child Justice bills. They are still currently being consulted. But this is something that, we, as we are forward-looking, and the need for parents and guardians to be more responsible, it cannot just be in the hands of the police, cannot just be in the hands of the ministry. Family members need to step up and need to take care of their children. And if they are in conflict with the law, if they are in trouble or at risk, then there are other avenues that they can explore, that adults in the family can explore to report that these children are being abused. It will not be included in these two bills. If we need to bring other laws to do so, or working with the police, or working with, in terms of the Public Order Act, if it becomes a part of the Public Order Act, where a curfew is imposed on children, that could be done that way too. We will consult with our stakeholders before we are able to propose it. It would be ideal to come under the Public Order Act, because once it comes to imposing a curfew in public places, then it would need to be, just like we saw during COVID, there were changes to the Public Order Act as well as the Health Act in terms of the quarantine and the movement of people who are isolated.